Today, we'll be showing you how to remove and replace your door lock assembly on this GE front-load washing machine. Be sure to visit ApplianceVideo.com, where you will find thousands of repair videos on the latest technology. And for a limited time, you can save big on an annual membership and take advantage of all of our premium benefits. ApplianceVideo.com. Do it right the first time. Stop. Before beginning any repair, always be sure to disconnect the power to the appliance. It is also recommended to test the outlet for the proper voltage. Remember to also turn off the water. You will need the following tools to complete this repair. To begin, we must remove the user interface console. First, we are going to pull out your dispenser. Here you'll want to press down this little tab when you're sliding it out. Next, we have multiple Phillips screws in these holes. They'll have to be taken out in order to remove the console. Then of course, after you've taken your screws out, make sure your dispenser is pushed in. You will pull forward on the UI and move to the right side here. And underneath, we can see this is where it slides on, as well as two slotted areas where it slides on the actual console itself. There are two wires in here that'll need to be disconnected. First of all, you have your wire on the user interface portion. Take that one out. And this one on the back here has a strain reliever in it. You'll want to pinch that and pull it through. And as you can see, it's kind of pushed into this slotted area here. What you'll want to do is just pinch this cable, pull it out, and we can set your console to the side. Next, remove the top off of it. We have a couple of Phillips screws in the front that'll need to be taken off. You will slide forward on the top, lift up, and set it to the side. Next, we have lifted the unit up on a block of wood, and the reason why we've done this is because we have 3 Phillips screws that are underneath that we'll have to take out. This just gives us a little bit better access. Remove this last one. And now we can set the screws to the side. Next, we're going to move on up here. Let's open up the door. You will have to push this seal inside, and in order to do so, there's a clamp that's holding it on, and it's a little spring clamp right here on the bottom. We'll find a hole, put our needle nose inside of it, and start to pull it off. You see what it looks like there. Set the clamp to the side, and then your seal, just lift it up off of this lip and go all the way around. Then we'll just push it inside. Now we can move on to removing our door lock. The next step is, like I said, removing this portion from the door lock. So since your door lock is mounted on the actual frame, in order to take off the front, you have to unmount it. So take these Phillips screws off on the bottom. pull off this piece of plastic here. And this is where it's actually mounted onto this metal that's going to have to come off, and it has 2 Phillips screws. I'm going to reach behind here and just hold it while I do that. And then before we take it off, you can just let it rest right in the front. The next thing we'll want to do to remove the whole front here, there's a couple of screws that we'll have to take off along the top. We have the one on the edges. There are a couple of Phillips going through the back, as well as 3 that are holding on the fan in the front. So let's start with the 3 that are holding on the fan in the front. They're different colored. Let's remove these. And you can just kind of push it back down in there. Next, let's remove the 2 on the side. Now, the one on the right side has a piece that allows the console to slide on. So this one will have to go back on the right side. And all of the other ones are the same exact size, these small machine Phillips. Now, do not just try to rip this off. In order to take this off, we're gonna have to lift it up and out. But on the back side, since this door can be switched, they have a door switch Molex right over on the bottom of this hinge. So when we lift it up, gently turn it to the side and disconnect that Molex switch there. So we'll get it off here correctly. Let's give it a turn. And this is the Molex that I was talking about. All you want to do is grab it, pull it off, and set the front to the side. Now that we have the front removed, we have clear access to our door lock. Now the main reason why you'd be replacing your door lock is if it is throwing a door lock error, or it may be clicking and saying that the door is not shut. One of the things you'll want to do is a good visual inspection. Check out the back side of the wiring. Make sure nothing's damaged back there, since the wiring is very small. If for some reason it went off balance and hit it, it could have got damaged. Obviously, you can check inside the lock itself, see if anything looks damaged in there, or right here on this pin, if this gets broken off, obviously it's not going to work correctly. Now, in order to replace it, you simply pinch the wiring Molex. It has a locking tab on it here. Pinch that in, pull it off, and set your door lock to the side. When installing your new door lock, simply line it up, press it in. It can only go in one way. Make sure it clips in. Now we can reinstall the front. When reinstalling your front panel, first we're going to go backwards and reinstall your door switch Molex on this piece of plastic. It can only go in one way. Just slide it in, gently bring it around. Now, when we put this on here, we're gonna have to make sure that the lid switch or door switch is in so it cannot get damaged. And then the frame here has these plastic holsters on it, and there's slotted areas on the front. So you will bring it up, slide it down. You'll have to push in and slide down in order to connect it. So let's go in. Make sure any wiring is out of the way on the front. On this side, let's push back and push down, and we can see that the screw is lined up here. This side is already in. Let's go ahead and reinstall 2 screws on the top, and I'm going to start with the ones on the edges. So once again, we had the studded one on this side, and then just a regular machine screw on this side. Next, let's open the door. Since, again, these screws are a little bit different, I want to go ahead and reinstall our fan. Now, you can see it's attached to the seal here. We will slide it up, And then you want to watch for the top clips to come in and draw forward. So you can see on the top, they're in, they're forward. Now the 3 screws for your motor portion here are a different color, and they're specific for plastic. Be very gentle, reinstall one. Let's reinstall the others. Now we'll go across the top and reinstall the other Phillips machine screws. Now we can reinstall the door lock. When reinstalling our door lock here, in order to reinstall it on the actual frame, we had this hook at the top that'll go inside the slotted area here. You have your 2 plastic screws. We'll start them by hand. I'm gonna zip them in here. Now let's go ahead and reinstall the plastic. You can only go on one way. There is your switch piece here that has to go through the hole. Let's reinstall the screws. Now we can reinstall the front of the seal. When reinstalling the front portion of your seal, first, let's go ahead and bend all this rubber in. Then I want you to lift up on the back and make sure the lip goes over the front metal here. Just work your way around. I'm just kind of lifting and pushing. Go around, make sure it's all the way in. Now, when installing your spring clamp on the front, this can be a little trickier. You're going to put it around the lip here, and this just keeps it tight against that metal lip that you put it around. So let's get it so that the spring is more toward the bottom portion, and we'll have it sitting up here at the top. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a small Phillips screwdriver and a pair of needle nose pliers. I'm going to put this Phillips screwdriver inside the hole here. I'm going to use the the needle nose pliers to lift off and move it. But I'm going to have to prop my knee against the side here, my leg here. Let's prop that to hold it tight. Grab the other side, start to flex it, and move it around the rest. Drop it in. Now we can reinstall the bottom screws. Now we have lifted our unit back up on the block of wood. Let's go ahead and reinsert these 3 screws on the bottom. Now, we can lift up on the top, remove our block of wood, and start to reinstall the top. When reinstalling your top, we will drop it in place. It has little arms that stick up. It can only go on one way. Once you get it in, slide it back. Now we can reinstall the 3 screws on the front. Now we can reinstall the console. When reinstalling your console, first we will bring it in, and the first thing we'll do is reinstall the cable here. Your pinch line will be facing inside on the console, so put one end in, bring it in until it snaps. You can reinstall your strain reliever, just push it into the hole, and we will reinstall the wiring harness for the user interface portion. Next, we are going to bring it in at an angle, slide it in. You'll feel it cannot pull out, and just kind of drop it in place here. I recommend moving up your dispenser, just drawing it in before you reinstall your screws. Now I am going to use my magnetic screwdriver for the ones that I can get in there, followed by the non-magnetic for the others. Now, these two in here are the ones that hold in the dispenser. So glide it in there and make sure you hold on to the dispenser inside while it's drawing it forward. We will reinstall dispenser drawer. Start to put it in, press in on your button, push it the rest of the way, and this will complete your repair. Thank you for watching another quality video from ApplianceVideo.com. If you found this video helpful, make sure you click the like and subscribe to our channel.